That's not what we're going to be doing today in the yin class. We're going to be doing yin with, with props, lots of props. So what, if you have pillows, body pillows, certainly a bolster, very useful. Blocks, low block, books can be substituted for blocks. Blankets, if you have, especially if you're on a hard surface, the mat doesn't really make it a whole lot softer, so taking a blanket over your mat might make it a little more comfortable for you as well. So we'll start reclined, and what you'll do is take the bolster right at the base of your spine, then just recline onto the bolster. Now, before I recline, a few things what you can do with your legs. You can bring the soles of your feet together, have your knees a little wider. That'll give you some hip opening to start. You can support the position of your legs with blocks if you'd like. You can keep your legs extended out, or you can have your knees bent and the soles of your feet on the ground, and that might bring a little more ease into your lower back here. When you recline onto your bolster, you'll notice that there's a back bend. And if you'd like to take the back bend largely out of the pose, just take, again, some height. Could be another pillow or a couple pillows or this block. Place your bum on the block, and going the top side of the bolster, if your head is falling off your bolster, you have a couple of options. You could buy a longer bolster, but that's not really going to do you a whole lot of good now. So you could also take a block right at the top of your bolster so your head doesn't fall off. You don't want to compress unnecessarily the back of your neck. Okay, so find the position you intend to start in. If you need to fidget around to find the right one, take a few moments to do that. And your arms can hang heavily off the sides of your bolsters. The weight of your arms may just give you just a subtle, passive stretch across your chest, in between your shoulders. You could also follow your breath by placing a hand on your belly, or both hands even on your belly, or one on your belly and chest. Now exhale, take it right to the bottom. And when you breathe into your belly, into your chest and sides. Hold your breath at the top just for a brief moment, and then exhale out through your mouth. And then lick your lips, softly closed. And place the tip of your tongue gently behind your two front teeth, top front teeth. And just ensure that your tongue stays relaxed, and there's room between your tongue and the top of your mouth. Now in the practice, try to relax as much as you can into the shape that you've chosen. If there's an energy or any energy in your body that's pressing into your mat, try to move away from that so you feel again that the mat, the prop, is holding or are holding your body weight. And here it can be helpful to take a body scan. And you may start, instead of going from top down or from the bottom up, with the place where you feel the most sensation. And hold your awareness, your attention on that place, and just notice. What you may notice is that sensation does shift or morph sometimes. But if it does ever shift into something that is very uncomfortable or painful, please know that there's no need to endure those sensations. So adjust or move as you need to. From that place of most noticeable sensation, go to the place that's second most noticeable. Hold your awareness there. And you can continue along that same vein, holding your awareness in these places in your body that hold sensation for the duration of the hold of the posture. Come off the prop or the bolster, roll to a side. You can help your legs back together if you do have your knees wide, but roll off your bolster to a side and make your way to all fours. From all fours, if there's a desire to move a little bit, you're welcome to take your tabletop position into some movement. Then moving to child's pose, and your knees can be parted a little or a lot, with your toes closer together. Now here, when you move your bum back towards your heels, you'll find that there's compression in your knees. If you'd like to shift a bolster or, again, the pillows underneath your bum, so your bum stays lifted and supported in that lift, that might ease some of the pressure that you feel in your knees if it's really noticeable. Otherwise, take the short end of the bolster, just place it somewhere in between your inner knees, walk your hands forward, and then place your torso on your bolster. And here, if the bolster or getting down to the bolster is quite far, here's where you can again stack pillows or stack some height blocks underneath your bolster to bring the ground up to you. And breathe deeply here into your belly. Feel the sides of your body expand. Your middle and upper back do the same. And some tension across your chest at the top of your in-breath. And expand or extend your exhalations. Just push just a little bit away from your bolster. And with your left hand, angle it over towards the left side of your mat. Walk your hands in that same direction. Reach through your right hand so you feel some tension now created on the right side of your rib cage, and come back down to rest on your bolster. And perhaps even exaggerate feeling or pushing your breath into the right side of your rib cage. Notice when your mind wanders off to other thoughts. And if that is something you notice, not to push those thoughts aside right away. Just take note of the thought, the nature of the thought itself, of course, and any associated feeling that might have also come up. And after that short investigation is concluded, just come back to your breathing, come back to the feelings of your body and the posture. Now walk your hands back just a little so your torso once again just clears your bolster. So you can take your right hand and Just angle your bolster now towards the right. Reach your left hand towards the top left corner of your mat. And once again, settle heavily onto your bolster. Yourself again just off your bolster enough to place your bolster back down the center of your mat, and then come up to all fours. If your knees are a little wider than your hips, bring them underneath your hips and move the bolster just to the front of your mat, so the short ends are on either long side of your mat. And once again, if you'd like to find just some movement here just to ease yourself out of the longer holds, then that's something I encourage. And then walk your knees back a little bit so they're behind your hips, and shift your hands a little further forward, and do the same with your shoulders now, and slowly place yourself on the ground. Now, position your bolster. So your bolster, you've got a couple of options here. One, you can rest your chest right on your bolster. It's a back bend, so when your chest is lifted higher than your hips, you'll feel some compression into your lower back. So again, if you'd like a very gentle back bend, or at least gentle in my body, then place your torso on a bolster. You can also place your forearms on your bolster so your chest lifts a little bit higher. You'll feel increased compression there in your lower back. And again, as long as it's safe for you to do that, it's certainly healthy for your body to have compression into your bones mindfully applied. Now with your head, you can allow your head just to hang, or you can support the weight of your head. You can use a block. You can even place your head in your hands. If you feel that your forearms, if you have them on your bolster, are pushing you away from your bolster, away from the ground, try to sink your chest so you feel your upper arms just plug a little bit more noticeably into your shoulder sockets. Relax your hands and, of course, your face. Relax your legs, allow your heels to part a little bit more from one another. And where do you feel this posture the most? Try to notice if you're creating a little bit of a story around why you might be feeling that particular sensation or the location. Just try to leave it at the feeling itself, without the story. If you'd like to bring just a little more compression into your lower back, here you can bring a little yang energy into the pose and bend your knees so the soles of your feet just point more or less up towards the ceiling. And if you've made that decision and decide that it's not the right one for you, lower your feet. you can go a couple of ways to come out of this pose. The next one will end up on our seat, so that might affect your decision on how to come out. But if you'd like to just lower your chest or move the bolster aside and lower your chest right to the ground and just take a moment, either rocking your hips from side to side or bending your knees and rocking your lower legs from side to side, you can do that. I'm going to push up off my bolster to all fours. And again, a few moments of movement might feel nice here. Karen's taking it all the way to downward facing dog, just because that's kind of what Karen does. So when you do make it to your seat, you'll notice that I've taken a lower block. For me, sitting right on the ground, I tend to have a little bit of a posterior tilt of my pelvis, and it just feels better for my body in general, especially when I'm folding in the forward direction, for my pelvis to be tilted slightly that way as well. Now take your feet a little, well, not a little, as far apart as you can. And if you're practicing on a floor like a wood floor, you may find that it's not very comfortable to have your heels on your mat, so just turn your bum so you can place, you're facing the long side of your mat or long edge of your mat, and your heels can likely stay on your mat. Now, several ways to use your bolster here. If you don't fold forward very far, that's fine. You still want to support yourself, and one of the ways to do that is to hug the bolster in and allow the bolster to take as much of your weight as possible. If you're folding a little further forward, you may find that you can just kind of bend the bolster into your forehead and again find some support here with your head and with the weight of your torso. Folding a little bit further forward, you can place your forearms on your bolster. And for those of you that have quite an ability to fold forward, you may find that just placing your torso right on your bolster. That's a little too far for me, but a nice midpoint can be to bring again a prop underneath your bolster, so the bolster is lifted just a little bit higher, and you can rest onto your bolster. Take just a note here if your legs, if they're engaged. When we do this in a young class, we often ask you to engage or flex your quads. In this practice, just try to relax into gravity as much as you can. So relax your legs, just let your toes turn whatever way they may turn. Want to maintain again that close connection with your breathing, keeping your breath calm, evenly paced, or with even rhythm, because that's your connection to your nervous system. And your nervous system, if it's getting those signals of calm, of ease, you may find that over the duration of the pose, you may open up a little bit more to deeper sensation or to let's call it even a deeper shape. Not that that's the goal, it's not, but to open up to, I would say, deeper sensation, as long as it's appropriate, is the direction that you'll travel in your yin practice. And the way you'll know that your nervous system is not receiving your body, your nervous system not receiving what you're doing in a healthy way, is if you start to clench your teeth or squint your eyes or think murderous thoughts. Those are all signs that you may have gone a little too far in your posture. depending on where you are in the pose. Start to move out of it. For some, pushing your hands into your mat just to bring your shoulders maybe over top your hips, even slightly behind your hips to move into just a gentle back bend. Pull your heels in. You can rock your knees if you'd like from side to side. And just continue with your release, and I'll set up the next posture, which will start from a kneeling position. So from all fours once again. And your bolster, just place it. So again, a short end is facing you. Now from all fours, so we just opened inner thighs, compressed outer hips. Now we'll bring a little more sensation into the outer hips from a stretch perspective, although you may feel that in your body there's more spinal twist than sensation in outer hips. Now walk your knees over to the left side of your mat and come to sit down on the right side. So your left hip, or right hip, excuse me, is on the right side of your mat. Now, the length of your right thigh bone just spans the width of your mat. And then turn your chest towards your bolster and walk your hands either beside your bolster. You can place your forearms beside your bolster or on your bolster. You can also move your chest right down onto your bolster, your torso right down onto your bolster. And if you're not feeling much of anything with your torso on your bolster, you can just move it aside and place your torso right on the ground. Now the position of your head here is also going to either take twist out of your upper spine or add into your upper spine. So if there's any concern with twisting in your cervical spine, turn your gaze towards the left. If you'd like to bring a little twist in, your forehead or your face stays into your bolster, pillow. And if you'd like to bring the twist to the top of your spine a little bit more deeply, turn your head towards the right side. Come out of your pose, walk your hands back, make your way to a tabletop position. Once you're there, push your hands into your mat, pull your belly button up, lengthen your tailbone, the tip of your tailbone down, and bring your chin into your chest. And then go in the opposite direction, lower the middle of your spine, right around your belly button. Lift your head. If you'd like to find a few more movements through spinal flexion extension, you're welcome to do that. And then when you are ready, walk your knees over to the right edge of your mat and place your left hip on the left side of your mat. Turn your torso towards your bolster, walk your forearm or your hands forward. Again, place forearms on your beside the bolster, on your bolster if you did on the last side, or if there's any restriction from going deeper on this side, make sure you do support yourself as you need to, and then come to rest in the posture, in the shape. Just a reminder, the turn of your head. If you want to take twist out of your spine, you would turn your head to the right. Bring a little bit into this is upper spine, you turn your head into your bolster. And if you'd like to bring a little bit more into it, you turn your head towards the left. Notice if you're still embodied, if you're still experiencing the pose, or if you're lost in thought. And be kind if you are, and just gently guide yourself back to the feelings you're currently experiencing in this shape. Slowly come out of the shape. Nothing ever happens very quickly in yin class, so just move slowly, very deliberately. And again, from all fours, there's some movement that just feels needed. Take the time, but we'll meet on our backs. Okay, recline onto your back. Place the soles of your feet on the ground and then press down through your feet. And just clear enough height underneath your bum to slide the bolster underneath your bum. If you'd like to use a block, if it makes you feel a little more stable or your hips get a little more height, and that's preferred, then you can also swap the block in for the bolster. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling with a gentle bend in your knees, just enough to to bring a little more ease into your body as a in total. In the posture. And your arms can stay grounded, or with a little energy, extend your arms up, but relax your wrists so you can see the palms of your hands. A little bend in your elbows, and the backs of your shoulders remain connected on your mat. you do have your arms lifted, just place your arms down and then bend your knees so your feet can come down as well. Now, next posture is Shavasana. You can keep the bolster right where it is if you'd like and extend your legs forward. This will keep you, or not keep you, but take you into a back bend. Your hips are lifted higher than your heels or your shoulders. And if you're done back bending, you can slide the bolster just towards that space in the back of your knees. So your knees here stay passively bent. And that may bring just a little more just feelings of that same quality, ease in your lower back, maybe in the muscles in the front of your pelvis, but around your hips and lower back altogether. Or you can just push the props aside and just take Shavasana lying on your mat. Take your next exhalation right to the bottom, a little bit more of an exaggerated or deliberate way. Pull your belly in. And then when you breathe in, breathe into your belly. Expand into your sides and chest. Hold your breath for a brief moment at the top. And open your mouth and let it all go. Once again, softly close your lips and eyes. And notice the areas of pressure where your body meets your mat. The areas of lightness where your body is just naturally curved inwards and away from your mat. If you have a little more time to spend in Shavasana, I certainly always encourage you to do that. But we'll come off our back, roll to your right side, keep your right arm extended by your ear, so when you roll over you can place your head just on your inner right bicep. And take a breath or two here, again a few more if you'd like, and then we'll meet up on our seats. Morning is mine. Morning is mine. So thank you very much for sharing your practice, and hopefully the calm peace that is hopefully cultivated in your yin practice follows you throughout the rest of the day. Namaste. Mm-hmm.